Welcome back, everyone, to River and Sea, where I am back here in Haldreath after speaking with Horn, and now it appears that we have another member to our band.
Our band of companions grows.
We have a Dunlanding, a Rohirrim man, an elf, and a halfling. It sounds like a joke, does it not? Oh, I wonder what the punchline's going to be.
We will still fit in the one boat, but it will not be comfortable.
I do not think that we should recruit any more companions, Pine Sea, unless you fancy swimming alongside the boat. Are you ready to continue our journey? Well, I've heard that the southern Anduin can get rather treacherous, so I'm not too sure I'd be keen about swimming the entire way. The Anduin is as familiar to me as my own shadow, but it is still a journey of some days. We must stop here for the night. Yes, that is far enough for today, Pine Sea. Horn has already seen to the fire, so now we may sup and take some rest before the night watch begins. We will leave it to the morning at first light. It is not good to travel further south than Anduin at night, unless your need is considerable. The waters become treacherous the nearer you get to Sarn Gebir. All right. Yes, I'm mostly familiar with the waters north of Lothorian. Let's rejoin our companions. It's a good fire. Thank you, Corridon. So let us sit down. You are fortunate to have friends among the elves, Pine Sea. I wouldn't want to make this journey without a guide, and Corden appears to know what he's doing. But it seems not seemly for a man of Rohan to mingle with elves, as you can see in Stangard. Of our kind, my people have little to say but this: long-lived and dangerous. Yeah, I understand what you mean. They have more to say of the folk of Dunland, but none of it is kind, and I will not disturb the girl's ears with any of it. I regret Nona's ill welcome in Stankard when she had need of us, though I understand its root. Her people and mine have long and unhappy history. I have no quarrel with her personally, but our shared friends and duties make us allies, nothing more than that. Okay? The Elf Queen was right to send this guide with us, Pine Sea. He knows the waters and how to keep the boat afloat, which is more than I could say for the daughter of Suffolk knows, were it up to me. I would lead us south on drier land and springy turf underneath, and no fear of foundering. Nona lowers her voice, a rare event for the Dunlanding woman. The boat is not large enough to keep us from speaking, Pine Sea, but, as you saw, this horse lord managed to avoid addressing me in any way once we were on the river. If he had a grievance with me, tell him to air it so that I may respond appropriately, with words or with Wadu's sword. I have become tired of his ability to look all around him, but not at my direction, whatever direction that happens to be. Something going on then. What do you say, Corridon? Yes, we have some time before we should begin the night watches. Would you find some tale telling agreeable? I find that the weaving of a good story among companions amounts around the fire can be a pleasant way to pass the time. Have a seat and listen. I will begin, and perhaps our companions will have a tale to share as well. All right? What is your tale? I grew up in the Golden Wood, but I spent most of my time exploring the wilderness. My sister Sieglitz stayed in Lorien for several years, but not in idleness. My skill was with the bow, but hers was with knives. She made them herself, and each was deadlier than the last. I returned from a journey once, convinced that I had become the greatest of archers. Is that so? I wager that you cannot hit this wooden target from 50 paces. I accepted and strode 50 paces, but when I turned to fire I saw that my sister was right, for she had hewn the target at its base, and it had fallen into the grass. We laughed and laughed. But that is my tale. Do you have one to share, Piney? Now, concerning this tale, I guess this is a matter of how perfect your accuracy, because if it's on the ground, you could theoretically hit it. It's just, ooh boy, is your room for error a lot less than if it were standing. But, yes, let's see, what story shall I share? I'll speak of Dol Guldur. That will touch upon that. Speak of the Fords of Isen. Speak of the Seeking of the Nazgul. I guess in a way that's almost following up on Corridon's story, because the story of Dol Guldur, I believe, is that the one that talks about Sigalith? I am familiar with this tale, as it involves my sister Sigalith. The sorrow is still with me, but it is good to think of my sister again. I would like to hear her story. Okay, I'll begin. You speak of your role in fighting the evil in Dol Guldur alongside the Golden Host. With this mithril axe, even the rulers of the Tower of Mazog cannot be given prisoner. You speak of Mazog and the axe of Ziegelberg, and the Tower of the Keep with Mazog the prisoner. After a time you come to the end of your story. I shall go next. My tale concerns King Fengel of Rohan, the grandfather of Theoden King. It's a sad tale, given the happenings of late, but you should find it interesting. Oh? King Fendel came to the throne when he was very young, and he ruled for 50 years. Though long, his rule was ill-starred. He was prone to greed and to make many enemies. In the last winter of his reign, he was hunting north of the Entwade on a cold afternoon. An elderly woman stumbled into the camp. She was lost and hungry. "A scrap of bread, if you please, my mighty lord. I am lost and cold and hungry." "Who are you, crone, to beg from the crown? If you seek warm food in your belly, find some churl whose bed to lie upon, or find some game to kill it yourself." King Fingal threw his own dagger at her feet and sent her away into the dark night. Is this the kindness of the horse lords? Horn did say that Fengel was a foolish king. This could be the reason why he's called so. He did say that, and I say that he spoke true, but it does seem uncommon trait with the horse lords. The king's men were horrified, and they searched for the woman. They found her at dawn, frozen to death at the foot of a tall boulder, the king's dagger still in her hand. She had carved a curse upon the face of the stone alongside her name, Weryende. This is what she carved upon the stone. "Feckless Fengel, fool, I name thee. Grief shall be the get of thy greed. No lord of your line shall long live. Upon thy seat no sun shall settle. Kin and kingdom thy craving hath killed, until the might of the mark is mended. Weryende." King Fengel was furious, and he ordered that Weryende's body buried and the stone destroyed. But no man in the company could move it, and every hammer and mattock was, they set in stone, shattered on contact. Well, that's a powerful curse indeed. She twisted the poetry and that seemed to have give it a twisted power, too. King Fingal himself assailed a stone and his sword until the blade shattered and a shard pierced his thigh. The wound festered, and King Fingal died of poisoned blood on the first day of spring. Many of Rohan through a curse was ended, and now the Prince Theodred is here. Well, to the end of the tale for now. Okay, let's see. Okay, because see, many of Rohan thought that the curse was ended, but now that Prince Theodred is gone, yeah, of course, Theodred is dead, showing that, yes, he did not settle into the throne. I do not have the flowery words or turns of phrase that Corydon and this man Horn have. I write the tale in the height of my enemies, with Wadu's sword as my quill. So I have no story to tell. Everyone has a story, Nona. What is the origin of the sword that you bear? The horse motif is not of your people. The sword came to my brother Wadu. He used it to slay a great beast. What was this beast? A large animal of some kind, like a bear? It was a Gwyber, the mighty dragon spawn of the mountains. Can it be? I know of no such creature. Yes, I've been there. There is much about my land that your people do not know. That may be so, Nona, and I'm sorry if I had offended you. Your brother must have been a great man to defeat such a foe. Whack! Whack! Down. There we go. Yes, he was. I think that is enough tale spinning for one night, Piney. I will take the first watch, and I will wake you when it is your turn. We will set out again at first light. And we have another journey down the river. And now we've arrived at some great statues. Whoever they are, kings of Gondor are here. One of their works. So we're starting to get near their lands. What do you say about that, Horn?
They are not my kings, but there is still something majestic about the twin statues.
Many songs have been sung about the men in whose likeness those statues were carved, and I know most of them by heart. I will not sing them now. There is too much that we need to do here.
Friends of yours came this way. Friends bearing a burden of some malice.
We spoke of a great many things on the boat, and I do not begrudge you for speaking in generalities, but you have told me enough to know that your errand here is important. Friends of yours came this way, friends bearing a burden of some malice. Whatever they carried, it was sought by the orcs, and perhaps by others as well. We need to find out what happened to these friends of yours, and if their burden has been lost. Horn raises his voice to include the Rohirrim man standing nearby. This man saw our boat drifting down the river, and hailed me from the shore. His name is Franrich, and he has come with a party of Rohirrim from the wold. I would have us help these people if you desire our help. But first, we must prepare our own camp, speak with Nona and Corydon of our thoughts, and then collect sticks for the fire. I will do the same. All right. See, we're level 76, which is actually getting around the right level for these quests now. How about that? Well, I'm not going to be level 76 for very long. This is 680 XP to 77. Well, what do you say, Nona? You plan to knock me up to 77?
I do not trust this Framric, but Horn wants us to help him.
If he is not careful, I will teach this Finnish in the way of my people with Wadu's sword. but Horn wants us to help him. I do not understand his loyalty to the horse lords. They cast him out. He should hate them for that. I would not impose my beliefs upon him, though, but I do not understand this. Well, oh well. Well, what do you say about that, Coroner? Corridon. Sorry about that.
The Lady Galadriel entrusted me with knowledge of our true mission.
While we are here at the East Wall, I think that it is fine for us to help Framreach's people. That is clearly what Horn desires. But we must also keep alert for signs of our mutual friends. They came to this land, and we know that what happened to them, then that's a mystery. And it is one that we must find the answer to, and we need help them if we can. But first, Horn's right. We must gather the sticks to make the campfire. Alright, so it's time to make a campfire. That means to find fallen sticks by the trees near the Argonauts. And we may have to... Okay, that's who pushes me up to 77. Some nasty dog. Oh, hold on. Yeah, I thought I saw an orc there. Orc Slayer of the Eastern Mint. Alright. Ah, here we are. Fallen sticks. Alright. For once, they are asking us to collect sticks suitable for kindling. And sometimes when they ask us to carry stuff for fires, they ask us to find some ultra large green wood. What? You mean a buck that's not threatening to attack us? How quaint. Here you go. It appears that in addition to orcs, we have some Uruks here also. Well, I suppose the Uruks are most likely commanding the rest of the orcs. Okay, let's get the rest of the sticks. And now, let's take care of the Uruk. He didn't last long. Here are the sticks, Horn.
You found some. Good. Now remove the supplies from the boat.
Alright, we remove the supplies from the boat so that we can assess what we have left. Alright, we should have plenty of supplies left. It took us only a few days in order to get here. You reach into the boat and remove the remaining supplies for apportioning. Okie dokie. And which of these do I take? Probably the... Is there some agility? Oh yeah, here it is. There are enough supplies for a short stay and to divide them among the rest of the crew. Actually, probably should have taken the coffee instead. Oh well. That's the way things go sometimes, right? What do you say, Corridon?
Parth Galen may be a good place to begin our search.
I think it's good. It is good to help Framreach while we can, but always keep your eyes open for the real reason that we're here. As you pass through southward through the woods to the east wall, remain alert for a grassy lawn alongside the Anduin. That peaceful place is called Parth Galen, and it may be a good place to begin our search. Alright, so find the lawn of Parth Galen in the east wall. Now that'd be down the river, but we have a bit going on there. But let's talk to Framreach.
I need your help if you can aid me.
I am Framreach, a man of Rohan proud and true, and I need your help. Orcs have crossed the river, and now they swarm throughout the land, all along the east wall of my homeland. I came south from the wold with a party of some 30 riders to investigate what could have drawn the orcs across the great river. When we arrived, the force was even larger than we expected, and they set upon us. We drove them away, but suffered many losses, and our camp is in disarray. My people could use your help to restore the camp and make it safe the border of Rohan. Go to the southwest near the passage of the Norcrofts. Make your presence known to my brothers if you wish to aid us. Right, I guess we probably should aid him, and that's what we're going to start doing when we return for the next episode of River and Sea.